हाम्रा प्रशिक्षकहरूको समय अलिकति चाहिँ नमिलेको हुनाले उहाँहरूले भनेपछि नै गर्ने भन्ने मलाई जानकारी प्राप्त भएको हुनाले विषयगत रूपमा हाम्रा सूचनाहरू आउँछन् र यहाँ उपस्थित सबै आदरणीय गुरुवरहरूप्रति प्रविधि मैत्री शिक्षक समाज नेपाल हार्दिक सम्मान व्यक्त गर्दै आजको यो कार्यक्रमको अध्यक्षताको ग्रहण गरिदिनु हुन प्रविधि मैत्री शिक्षक समाज नेपालका अभियन्ता तथा गण्डकी प्रदेश अध्यक्ष आदरणीय नारायण पौडेल सरलाई हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु।
धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद संस्थाका परिकल्पना यो कार्यक्रमका तत्परता आदरणीय व्यक्तित्व एमएस साउथ सरप्रति एकदम आभार।
नारायण सरको डिभाइसमा केही समस्या भएको हो, आवाज अलिक क्लियर भएन सर।
सर हेलो,
हजुर सुन्दैछु सर, अब सुनिएको छ।
म एकदमै यहाँहरू सबैप्रति एकदमै हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्दै विशेष गरी हाम्रो प्रशिक्षक सर एमएस साउथ प्रति पनि म आभार व्यक्त गर्दै आजको यस कार्यक्रमको अध्यक्षता ग्रहण गर्दछु। हस्, धन्यवाद सर।
हस्, धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद सरलाई। अब हामी कति पनि समय खेर नफालिकन अब हामीले एउटा यो प्रविधि मैत्री अनलाइन कार्यक्रमलाई कसरी चलाउनु पर्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि अलिकति छोट्याएका छौँ। हामीले कुनै किसिमका भनाइहरू नराखिकन अरू किसिमका समयहरूलाई खेर नफालिकन हामी सिधै कार्यक्रममा प्रवेश गर्छौँ। आदरणीय प्रशिक्षकज्यूलाई पनि म विशिष्ट आतिथ्यता ग्रहण गरिदिनु न हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु।
हस् सर, धन्यवाद सर। है
र प्रविधि मैत्री शिक्षक समाजका महासचिवज्यू यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुहुन्छ लगायत केन्द्रीय पदाधिकारीहरू, प्रविधि मैत्री शिक्षक समाज नेपाल केन्द्रीय प्राविधिक समितिद्वारा आयोजित यो कार्यक्रम हो। केन्द्रीय प्राविधिक समितिका सम्पूर्ण उपस्थित पदाधिकारीज्यूहरू, जिल्ला अध्यक्षज्यूहरू, प्रदेश अध्यक्षज्यूहरू वा प्रविधि मैत्री शिक्षक समाज नेपालको कुनै न कुनै जिम्मेवारीमा रहनुभएका सम्पूर्ण आदरणीय व्यक्तित्वहरूमा एकमुष्ट आसन ग्रहण गर्न अनुरोध गर्दछु र उपस्थित सम्पूर्ण आदरणीय गुरुवरहरूमा, सक्रिय सदस्यहरूमा अब आफू व्यवस्थित भएर सिकाइका निम्ति तयारी सहित आसन ग्रहण गरिदिन हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दै म आजको हाम्रो पाठ आदरणीय सरलाई प्रस्तुतिका निम्ति हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु।
धन्यवाद सर। Respected chairperson of this program, STFT members, and all the participants or all the teachers who are present here from different parts of the country. So without saying any more thing, I'll just say good evening to all, and without saying any other thing, I'll directly go to the slides because the main focus is on the content delivery of the curriculum. That's why after the presentation of this slide, we'll have interaction like yesterday and the last day. So let me share the slides for today's presentation here. Yeah, can it be seen, sir, ma'am? I have enlarged the slide.
Yes, sir. It's totally.
Yes.
Audible and
sorry. Yes. So if you can see, if everybody sees the slide, let me start from the same one. Yeah, today's session is based on English curriculum orientation program of grade 10. We know that grade 10 English is going to be implemented from this year, from this academic year, from this session. So this curriculum was already prepared, but the textbook has been published, and you might have already textbook, and you might have also seen the curriculum of grade 10 English as well. So actually we find the curriculum of grade 9 and 10 in the combined book form, because we know that the system of actually getting the curriculum is that we get the curriculum of grade 1 to 3 in one volume. We get the curriculum of grade 4 and 5 in another volume. We get the curriculum of grade 6, 7, and 8 in another volume. And we have got the curriculum of grade 9 and 10 in one volume. And similarly, we have got separate volume for curriculum 11 and 12. So this is based on curriculum 9 and 10. and we are basically focusing on English curriculum of grade 10 because grade 9 was implemented last year, and you are teaching the course book based on the same curriculum. That's why we'll focus on the same one here. Yes. Yeah. Actually, we have been involved in teaching. We are the teachers. So I love all of the participants because you have selected teaching as the career. Because teaching, so many people do not like to be the teachers, but you have loved to be the teachers. That's why I have huge respect to all the participants here. Being we are in the same family, being we are in the same actually group, we are in the same party, that the teachers party here. So there is one slogan, that teach for learning and learn for teaching. It means teaching and learning, they go side by side, because we learn for teaching and we teach for learning, because we are in this profession. And now, if we have to talk about this situation, we are actually physically distanced. We are in different parts of the country. We are spiritually connected because we have got the sense of spiritualism, that we all are the teachers, and we are actually engaged because we are focusing on the content delivery of curriculum orientation here. So this is simply the situation. If I have to talk about my academic position, so you can see in this way. And if you want to find out me in the website, you can find me in ORCID ID, Google Scholar, ERIC, Semantic Scholar, Academia, and so there is recent publication, Scopus publication, the last one. Anyway, I have been involved in those types of the actually research activities as well. Similarly, these are some articles if you are interested to read, because you might conduct action research as well, right? And this might be helpful also, though they are not the action research actually. They are found, they can be downloaded from actually Google. And since I have been involved in actually ELT materials production, and these are some of the materials that I have produced up to now. There is one book, Modern English Grammar, based on new curriculum for grade 9 and 10. So we are talking about the grammatical portion that is given in the actually curriculum, and it is also reflected here. Then these are some other books that I have developed to be the as co-authors, and these are the pictures of some of the books that I have developed so far. Now, today's presentation highlights. Actually, we are focusing on these issues: curriculum framework, curriculum syllabus and course book, English curriculum in Nepal, features of grade 10 English curriculum, contents which are covered at grade 10 English curriculum, learning activities means methods, techniques and activities that are to be followed while implementing the curriculum, and assessment system. And finally, we will talk about test specification grid based on this curriculum. These are the presentation highlights for today's session. So we are familiar with this concept regarding the elements of curriculum, right? So we have certain curriculum framework, because curriculum has 4 elements basically: goals and objectives, contents, teaching learning activities means here method, and evaluation. So they are interrelated, as you can see from the arrows which I have seen in the diagram also. You can see that we have got a whole part relationship between curriculum, syllabus and course book in this way, because curriculum is the broader concept. It is the inclusive term. Within curriculum, we have syllabus, right? So we are simply talking about English syllabus here. And within the syllabus, we develop the course book. So the course book of grade 10 is already published, so that you might have got that textbook also. And all the matters which are given in the curriculum and which are given in the syllabus are actually reflected in the course book or the textbook. So this is the relationship between curriculum, syllabus and course book that you see in the field of education actually. Now, when we talk about the learning theories, because whenever we talk about syllabus, curriculum, right, course book, and this is especially for learning, then in the case of learning, there are different theories which have been developed in course of time, but there has been some paradigm shift in the learning theories as well. Because first, there was the development of behaviorism. So you have studied the behaviorist learning theories developed by Watson, Pavlov, Skinner, which indicates that learning is a response to the environmental history. Actually, Learning is a matter of habit formation, so that there is drilling, practice, repetition, pattern practice, right? So there is some kind of exercise. So this is what is applied in the case of teaching learning activities as well. And against behaviorism, we have cognitivism, developed by especially Orthimer, Asubel, Bandura, and which says that learning is a process of acquiring information by understanding the situation as a whole, not as a part. Behaviorism takes something as a part. Cognitivism takes something as a holistic matter. So with the help of which there can be sudden learning. Similarly, against the same one, we have constructivism developed by Piaget and Vygotsky, and which says that learning is a process of getting ideas through interaction and through interaction with others and with the help of some experiences. Cognitivism is the latest theory developed by George Simons in 2004, which says that knowledge is out there. I mean, knowledge in the society. We can simply go to the society, we can collect the ideas, and we can form ideas in our mind so that we can have connection with the social issues, social matters, and we can have creativity. In this way, such learning theories have been developed in psychology, and they are also reflected in our curriculum from behaviorism to cognitivism to constructivism to connectivism. So as a theoretical matter, right? Then why is there change in curriculum? Because curriculum changes in course of time, and every 5-year curriculum might be changed. Every year curriculum might be changed in some countries as well, and every 10-year curriculum might be changed. There are different factors behind that. We can see if there is socio-political change, curriculum changes. When there is philosophical change, curriculum changes. When there is change in the worldview, means how we perceive the world, then there might be the influence of this thing in curriculum also. If there is change in approach, method, technique, curriculum changes. Because of technological change, again, there is the influence of this thing in curriculum change. And knowledge explosion is one of the main factor because of which curriculum changes, because we have to incorporate new knowledge, new ideas, new concept, new data, new theory into the mainstream education. That's why curriculum changes, because of research and innovation. We have knowledge explosion. So there is no limitation of the knowledge. Every time we have to update our knowledge. Every time we have to source different, let's say, website which are reliable only, and we have to interact with our friends. We have to take part in the conferences, seminars, right, workshops also, so that we can have the sharing of the ideas. In this way, we can gain knowledge, we can update knowledge. And because of need also, curriculum changes. Because of international influence also, curriculum changes. So these are some of the factors because of which curriculum of any country changes. And the same is the case with our country also, in the case of our country also, right? Now, so if we talk about English curriculum in the case of Nepal, we see this type of the change. So at the beginning, when English curriculum was actually implemented in the context of our country, basically traditional method, means grammar translation method, was adopted in the textbook. Then structural approach was adopted. Then functional approach was adopted. Now, integrated approach has been adopted regarding the English curriculum of our country from grade 1 to 12. So integrated approach means everything is integrated, right? So listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, grammar, language functions, pronunciation, they are not taught separately, right? So 2 or more than 2 concepts, language skills, right? Language aspects are actually integrated. So when it is listening, we also teach speaking. When it is reading, we also teach writing, right? So they can't be taught separately. I mean, they are integrated, and literature can't be taught separately, right? So contemporary issues can't be taught separately. Actually, literary texts as well as non-literary texts are also integrated. In this sense, our present curriculum, which is implemented now, and in the case of grade 5, 8, and 10, it is going to be implemented from this session, right? So it is based on integrated approach to language teaching. Now, if we talk about language teaching trends in the context of the world as well as Nepal, we can see in this way. So first, there was classical method. Classical in the sense that there are no method before this time, so that we call that classical one. Latin and Greek languages taught in this way. Then there was the appearance of existence of grammar translation method during 1940s and 1840s and 1940s. Against the same method, there was the development of audiolingual method. So between 1940s and 1970s, so this method existed. PPP as a technique, that is presentation, production, and practice. is based on the concept of audiolingualism. It is a technique also, right? So drilling, pattern practice, structuralism, let's say behaviorism. When you say so, we are also talking about audiolingualism. Then against the same one, there was the development of communicative approach to language teaching. It existed between 1970s to 1990s, and it simply stressed, right? So we have to follow monolingualism. We have to practice only the English culture. If we talk about only English language, right? And other languages are not to be used in the classroom. So there should be fluency as well as let's say accuracy, right? Appropriacy in the case of using the language. Then other cultures are actually erased. If we follow communicative approach, then other cultures, other languages are actually erased because it basically focuses on only English culture, native speakerism. So it says that only the native English teachers are the best teachers. Now, and it says that the same method can be used in all the contexts. Now, which is not true. And its basic aim is that the learners should develop communicative competence. Now, we are not using this one because this was used at one time. Now, we are using CLIL, content and language integrated learning. We also call this content-based instruction, right? This is the latest approach, right? I mean, the present curriculum is based on the principle of CLIL approach, content and language integrated learning. I mean, content and language are taught together, right? So which is language, which is content, just like content can be about geography, history, or mathematical case might also be there. Literary text might be there, or non-literary text might be there, or any kind of the text might be there. That is text, that is content. And we teach that content with the help of English. So which is called nowadays CLIL, content and language integrated learning, or we call that English medium instruction as well. This is an academic approach. Now, present curriculum is based on the same approach, that is content and language integrated learning. We also follow principled eclecticism because there is no best method. Any method can be based on when the teachers find the method suitable in their own context. That's why we can't say that this is the best method. We can't say that that is the best method. We can't say that this is the best technique, that is the best activity. We can't say. So any technique, any method, any activity can be best when that is suitable in my own context, because every teacher knows his or her context of teaching, right? Others can't say that, oh, you have to follow only this method, that method. Nobody can say so, because teachers are the autonomous bodies actually. That's why you are expert in your own field, because you know the context wherever you are teaching actually. So you can teach what you can select whatever technique you find suitable in your context. You can select whatever material is suitable in your context, right? Then because of this, we also have the practice of critical pedagogy. In the case of critical pedagogy, we have the concept of learning, unlearning, relearning. Now, so the whatever matter we have learned, it might be, they say, outdated after some time. Then we have to unlearn that matter. We have to delete that concept. Then we have to relearn. Just like before some years, we had the concept that there are 8 parts of speech. Now it became outdated because there are 9 parts of speech. That's why we have to relearn in this way. Similarly, reflection and evaluation. This concept is based on Paulo Freire's pedagogy of the oppressed. These things are applied in the field of English language teaching as well. Now, I told you that present curriculum is based on content and language integrated learning. That's why we should get some ideas regarding what kind of approach is called CLIL, because this is the latest approach. This is the recent approach. It came against communicative approach, right? So this term, CLIL term, was created in 1994 by David Marsh from Europe as a method similar to content-based instruction. Means we have to teach content. Content can be any kind of the text. The text can be from geography, the text can be from sociology, the text can be from, let's say, economics, or the text can be from history, or there might be any kind of the text. But we have to teach that text in English. That is what we call content-based instruction, or the ideas of CLIL and content-based instruction are actually similar, though names are, they are different only by name, right? So that content and language integrated learning is a dual focus education approach, because we teach any content with the additional language. Here, additional language means for our purpose, this is English actually. Now, this approach has been used while implementing the present curriculum, and Do Quails has given 4 principles of content and language integrated learning approach. They are content, we have to teach content in subject, themes, cross-curricular approaches. Cognition, our thinking mechanism, communication, because we have to communicate in our society by understanding the content, right, using the English language. Then culture, and we should have intercultural awareness. So if you see the diagram here, culture is at the center of teaching English language, because everything is based on culture. Based on culture, we have communication. Based on culture, we get content. Based on culture, we have cognition, right? That's why culture is at the center of English language teaching nowadays, because there everything is cultural concept. Everything is the cultural matter. So how can we see the culture? Culture can be in our belief system, our perspective. Culture can be in the product or in things, and actually culture can be in practices. Whatever practice we have in a certain society, community, that is cultural matter. Whatever items, product we have, just like clothing, food item, or some other things, these are the products, that is cultural matter, right? And whatever perception we have about something, it is shaped by culture. That's why culture is at the center. Then if we see that other people should respect our culture, we have to respect their culture. We have to value their culture. So this is what we call intercultural awareness. And if we develop this sense in the learners, we say that learners have developed intercultural competence. Now, the main purpose of teaching language at present is to develop intercultural competence in the learners. This is the main purpose of teaching English regarding the new curriculum, right? That's why we should be clear about what is CLIL approach, because the same approach is followed in our recent curriculum, right? Because the curriculum has been revised, it has been changed. Now there is the reflection of the same curriculum in our present course. You might be familiar with the concept of post-method pedagogy. So Kumara Vadivalu says that there is no final method, there is no perfect method. Because of dissatisfaction with the methods, that we need to follow alternative methods. Then what is the best method here? No method is the best method. Any method can be best one whenever it is suitable for the teacher in the local context. That's why Kumara Vadivalu or post-method pedagogy focuses on 3 P's. 3 P's means particularity, what is particular, practicality, what is practicable, possibility means what is possible. That can be the best method, right? So that teacher autonomy, it focuses on teacher autonomy. Teachers are the autonomous bodies in the societies, right? So nobody can dominate the teachers. Teachers have that kind of the power, right? Nobody can say that, oh, you have to do this, you should not do that. Nobody can say, because teachers are autonomous people. And whenever we teach the language, it must be context sensitive. We have to consider the culture and theory and a practice. Now these are 2 things which are interrelated. From theory we can practice, and with the help of the practice we can generate theory. That's why they are interrelated matters. Sometimes we blindly follow the theory in practice, and then we have some practices. With the help of some practices we generate theory. In this way, actually Western people do some practices using the language and they create theories. We follow those theories. We are the blind supporters, blind followers of the theories. Actually, theory can be applied in practice, or with the help of the practice, we can generate the theory. They go in this way. So both ways should be used. Then principled pragmatism means whatever is actually practicable, whatever can be suitable in the context, in any context, that can be used, right, as the teaching learning activity or method or technique or material. So this is what post-method pedagogy says, because of post-modernism. Yes. Now you can see, we can see paradigm shift in competence. The concept of competence has been changed in course of time. Yeah, in the slide you can see that competence has been changed, because when the concept of competence was developed for the first time in 1957, Nam Chomsky developed the concept of linguistic competence, means being perfect in the use of the mother tongue of any learner, so that native speakers are actually, they have got the ability of understanding any kind of the sentence, listening, speaking in their mother tongue. That is linguistic competence, because they have got the perfect knowledge over the use of their mother tongue. That is linguistic competence. And against the same, there was the appearance of communicative competence. Only grammatical competence or linguistic competence is not sufficient if we are not able to utilize those in certain contexts. Like we say, I can say now, good morning. In terms of linguistic competence, it is perfect. There is no problem. But communicative competence says that, oh, it is not suitable at this time. That's why context should be considered. Time should be considered. This is what Delheim says. And then this concept is called here communicative competence, using correct structures in terms of appropriate situations. That is communicative competence. And now, a communicative method flows communicative competence. But now we are flowing content and language integrated learning, which flows intercultural competence, the concept developed by Byram in 1997, or alternatively, it is called transcultural competence. Both mean the same one. Now, there is the reflection of this competence in our present curriculum. We are not flowing communicative competence. We are flowing intercultural competence or transcultural competence, which has 4 elements. One is awareness. We should be aware of all the changes in the society: economical change, educational change, political change, geographical change might be there, right? Or there might be any kind of the change. We should be aware of such matters. We should be aware of such issues, so that we can have intercultural competence. And knowledge, we have to gain the knowledge of various matters. And it says that knowledge exists in the society, not in our mind. Knowledge is not in the book. Knowledge is not in the Google. Knowledge is in the society. We have to go to the society. We should have connection. We should have interaction with those people who live in the society. Then we can generate, we can create, we can establish, we can construct knowledge in our mind. That's why when we are in Chinese culture, we generate Chinese kind of knowledge. When we are in Tamang community, we create the knowledge in the same ways, so that context influences regarding the generation of knowledge. Skill, we should develop the skill of communication, right? Interaction and interpretation. Then attitude means we should have always positive attitude towards others' culture, so that other people can also have positive attitude towards our culture. If I think that other people should value my language, if I think that other people should value my culture, if I think that other people should value my way of, my tone, my way of speaking, then I have to also respect their way of speaking. I have to also respect their culture, right? Their language. This is what we call attitude. Then if learners develop intercultural competence, then they also obtain all these 4 elements. Now, this is the essence of present curriculum, right? So learners should develop intercultural competence in this way. Now, another concept that is reflected in the curriculum is that knowledge system is also changed. It has been changed in course of time. So during Gurukul education, content knowledge was sufficient. If teachers had perfect knowledge over the use of content, if they knew the content, they could be the perfect teacher. Because of the development of psychology,